I forgot. It's a completely different fucking button. Okay. Alright, so let's do this. Cool. Let's do that. Okay. That way I don't fucking dox myself. Okay. Now the fun part is just waiting until... live chat. Let's make sure this is good. Let's move this over here. Alright, cool. Hi, Skyless. I really don't know what I don't know what the appropriate time is to wait for people to get here, because, like, I'm gonna talk about something. It's gonna be a kind of a short stream, but this is the difference between wanting to do a pre-recorded video and wanting to do a stream. This is me doing a stream that will become the pre-recorded video, hence why we're on YouTube. So I want to start off and say that the title of this video, the live stream, is not it's not placebo, it's not hyperbole. Somebody in the Americas here does not like me. Somebody in South Dakota does not like me. So this is the second piece in like 2 months of anonymous hate mail that I have gotten. Now, I am no stranger to hate mail. I get plenty of it online. But what makes this different is that this is the same person, I can tell by the postmark and the fact that everything is typed. Even the address has been typed, printed, and taped on. So whoever keeps doing this is too chicken shit to say who it is. And I'm not going to read the entire 4 pages to you because it's a lot of drivel and nonsense. But I can tell you that the entire point of this hatred that was mailed to me is to not threaten, but to use my full legal name, which they have discovered thanks to Ohio's tax laws. And they go on this tirade for 4 pages. They go on this tirade, essentially complaining about really one thing. This person cannot accept the fact that I am no longer Kiwi Fox. They addressed the letter. I had to tape off my address. They addressed the letter to a name I haven't gone by in years. So that should give you your first clue. This person keeps referring to me as Kiwi Fox. They then proceed to send me 4 pages of garbage telling me I'm not a woman, telling me I should stop doing content, telling me that I am basically the next Charlie Kirk, that I should be necked by somebody. And it's just, it is your very typical, clearly right-wing, upset with the world talking points. I mean, literally a lot of this letter reads like a Fox News chyron, and they're trying to find a way to tie it back to being mad at me. And again, the only things they level at me is that they are mad that I am trans and that I am not doing the content they want me to do anymore. And they keep doing this. And the thing that annoys me the most about this is that they're too pussy to even tell me who they are. They will not write their name. They will not tell me who is doing this. So they are sitting there behind the anonymity of a keyboard and typing little letters to me and finding my address on the internet and sending me, I wouldn't call this threatening, but certainly harassment. And not even for a good reason. Like I said, the entirety of this letter is to go over numerous right-wing talking points and then find ways to level it back at me as a person, as a creator, as an individual. And so the point of this stream is, number one, if you're watching this, which I assume you are because you clearly keep following my content by the fact that you keep sending me these letters and you won't even tell me who you are. So let's get that out of the way. How about you say it with your whole chest? If you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that I'm not who I am, how about you use your whole chest and tell me who you are? How about you stand behind the garbage you mail to me, that you physically sit down and you type up and you put in an envelope and then you typeface the address like a bitch, and you can't even have the balls to say it to my face that you don't like me and the content that I do? So I know you're watching this because you clearly watch my streams. And I just want to say to you, the person who keeps writing this, go ahead, send me more. I'm just going to start putting them into a giant pile. And as soon as I figure out who you are, you'll be getting a cease and desist in your mailbox. So go ahead, keep sending me anonymous letters and see how long your anonymity lasts. To everybody else, please keep your eyes and ears open. If you see people making threatening statements, don't stand by and do nothing. The dumbest thing I could do would be to let this continue and say nothing, because this individual clearly has the time and the energy to type out all of this and then mail it to me and not even tell me who they are. So they clearly wanted to make sure I saw it because they know I can ignore DMs. I can ignore emails. But they know if they send it to my mailbox, well, then I'll clearly see it. But why aren't you going to tell me who you are? How are you going to sit there and level all of these awful things at me and use my full legal name against me as some sort of threat? And you can't even have the balls to tell me who you are and why you have an issue with me. And they state on page 3, and I quote, I declare myself one of your ex-supporters who regret ever giving to you, and how you take advantage of us for money and never give us anything back. Shame on you. Go get a real job and an education, both of which I have, thank you very much. Instead of calling yourself a woman and enriching yourself behind people's backs. I would really like to know how I'm enriching myself when I probably have less to my name than most of the people who watch my content. Not that this is a competition, but I am no different than anybody else. I just choose to make content for the love of the game. Now, if you think that I am enriching myself, you have me confused with somebody doing far better than I am. Have you looked at my subscribers lately? Have you looked at my Twitch numbers lately? I am lucky, and I will happily show you my revenue if you don't believe me. I make maybe $450 a month from Twitch. Do you want to know how much money I make on YouTube? Average month, I make $0. After 3 to 4 months, the ad rev might get up to $20. And if those of you kind enough to stay around and send me super chats and other things, yeah, YouTube might send me $100 every few months. So that's $600 from content? Maybe another $50 from Patreon if I'm lucky, and you think I'm sitting here rolling in dough in a mansion and you have the audacity to send me all of these Charlie Kirk talking points as if I have anything to do with these people. Am I supposed to feel scared? Am I supposed to think, oh no, I'm a trans person, that must mean I have a target on my back? I don't make it my point to have a target on my back. You, sir and or madam, seem to be the only person in my life vocally telling me that you have a problem with me. And yet you can't even tell me who you are. So what's the point? Why send me threatening letters if you can't even say who you are? What sense of justice do you get? What are you gonna think watching this video when I'm not cowering in fear and begging you to leave me alone? What, are you just gonna send more threatening letters? Now I'm looking forward to it. I want you from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to go ahead and send me another letter. Go ahead. I'm just gonna start banking all of these together. And once I know who you are, my lawyer can handle the rest. I don't have to do a thing. I don't have to sit here and go vigilante. That's not my style. I follow the law. I do not harass people. I simply play Beat Saber and make people smile and try to have a better fucking day. But you seem to think I am some ginormous piece of shit that you feel the need to send me this absolute nonsense. 3 fucking pages of Fox News talking points leveled at me, and you can't even be honest with who you are. What the fuck are you doing with your life, dude? I can't imagine a woman would do this, so I'm pretty sure you're a dude, whoever is doing this, because I cannot imagine that any other person on the face of this earth with an ounce of confidence and something else to do with their time would spend their time sending anonymous hate letters to one of the most irrelevant content creators on this platform who gets, what do we have here, 30 people? And you're making me out to be some ginormous successful content creator? Have you seen my content in the last 5 years? Do you know who I am? Clearly you are writing this letter as if I am the same person I was in 2018 when I had more viewers and I had more subs. Why are we doing this in the year of 2026, my brother in Christ? What is going through that noggin of yours? And to the rest of you watching this, let me give you a taste of what they say here. In the first paragraph that you see, they open up with, "Dear Kiwi, you are not a real woman. You're a man in what looks like a woman's body." Now that's my first gripe. You're telling me that I look like a woman, but yet you say that I'm not. Which is it? You tell me I look like a woman, but then you literally refute yourself later in this letter. Which is it? In your eyes, there can only be one. You're already contradicting yourself in the first paragraph. Anyway, they continue. If you're born a male, you're still literally a male, no matter what you want to call yourself. There is no such thing as being born into the wrong body, says them. You may have changed your name to my current legal name, which they of course found thanks to Ohio, leaving all of our voter registration data open to any dickhead worth looking our shit up. So they then use my dead name to make sure that I am aware that they know information that literally anybody can Google on the internet, because I've been doxxed before, but they continue. And they go, that does not erase any history. You were born a baby boy, roughly 36 years before you decided to transition into the woman you claim to be. Again, which is it? Am I a woman or not, dude? You're contradicting yourself the whole way through this letter. They go on. Because a trans woman is a fake woman who's actually a man on the inside, just like a trans man is also a fake man who's actually a woman on the inside. Again, this is according to them. I would love to know their medical studies. I would love to know their degrees, how they can just say all of this carte blanche and expect me to take it as fact. This person clearly has such a high view of themselves, but yet they can't let me know who they are. Which is it, friend? Are you just this smart and well-educated that you can't dare let me know who you are? Or maybe, and just maybe, let me go out on a limb here. And let me just think for a second and think that, you tell me that you used to be a supporter of mine. And then on the third page, you proudly exclaim that you are an ex-supporter of mine. So this leads me to believe that you've been around for a while. Now, if you've been around for this community for a while, why are you only now getting so mad? I've been trans for 5 years. Where was this 5 years ago? Why are you just now getting mad? Are you jealous? Are you mad you didn't do the same thing? Like, which is it? What is the point of this letter? If I'm not making any money, if I'm not an influencer who has all of these people watching me, what is the point of this letter? Who is it that you think I am, that you felt the need to write this, when none of it applies to me? I would really like to know, just genuinely, what's going on in that interesting little head of yours. I don't want to resort to insults because, well, that's just lowering myself to their level, and it's not worth it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a better person than they are, because let's be honest, I've made my own mistakes. I took 36 years to transition. I should have done it sooner. And that's my fault. That's my mistake. And I'm so sorry if you're upset that you couldn't transition. And I'm upset if you're mad that your family didn't let you do content. But leveling this criticism at me through an unnamed letter typed out because you're too chicken shit to handwrite it or tell me who you are? What is it you're expecting? Do you think I'm just going to wake up and quit content? Do you think I'm going to see this letter and call my doctor and detransition despite being the happiest I've been in 40 years? Like, I cannot understand why you thought this was going to be a good idea. Because yes, The first letter put me in a really bad headspace for about 2 days. I got this letter today. Do you want to know the first thing I said when I opened this letter up and I saw that it was the exact same typeface that you used last time? I chuckled because I knew exactly who I was dealing with. You even dropped it off at the same post office. It has the same postmark from Sioux Falls, you fucking moron. You didn't even go to a different post office. So go ahead, send me another letter. Ooh, make sure you finger fuck that one too, because fingerprints are still a thing, you dipshit. So anyway, I have a stalker, an actual stalker that sends me hate mail. And I'm just like, why? Like, you could just come hang out in the stream chat and you could get this sort of participation without going through all of this, dude. All of this. What is all of this, dude? All of this is just Charlie Kirk this, detransition that, Trump derangement system. When I saw them use Trump derangement syndrome, I knew exactly who I was talking to. But it's like, what is the point? Why would you do this, dude? Like, now I'm just sitting here getting free content out of you because I thought to myself, what should I do with this letter? Should I just hang on to this and stew in silence? Nah, I'm gonna share this one with all of you because you get to you deserve to know what other kind of shitlords exist on the internet and how best to keep yourself safe from them. Because if they want to come after me, well, baby girl, as a content creator, that is a badge of honor we wear. We get hate. We get people because we put ourselves out there. Because we want to do something nice for other people, we put ourselves out there, put out our, well, I at least, I can't speak for people who get full-time streamer money, because I unfortunately don't. I work for my money, despite you thinking I make everything from content. But, you know, I do this for the love of the game. I had off today. Did I need to stream? No, it's my off day. But did I want to stream to clown on some asshole? Absolutely I did. Because as soon as I find out who you are, I will make sure that you never have a moment's peace if you ever do content. If you ever start doing commentary, if you do TikTok, I don't even care if you go to Instagram Reels. If I find you, I will make sure to pay very close attention to everything you do. So go ahead and send me another letter. Just do me a favor and just put your name on it this time so I actually know who I'm dealing with instead of just having to imagine the troglodyte that wrote this kind of hatred, who took time out of their day to not just type it up, but staple it together. You stapled the pages. Do you know how much of a tryhard you have to be to send me a letter in a typed out address label from your computer that you cut and taped to the envelope? And you had to staple the pages to make sure that I read them in the order that you wanted me to. And you know what, Aspen? I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a split second that I looked at this and I said, are one of you fucking with me? Because I will admit, Sioux Falls is a hell of a coincidence to keep getting hate letters from. This is the second one. So it's just like, it is interesting that it does come from Sioux Falls. But yeah, it was just kind of funny that for a split second, I'm like, are one of the two people I know out there fucking with me? Probably not, because even neither of you could come up with this level of just, do you want more? Do you want more of the brain dead drivel? Do you want to hear what this asshole thinks is like gotcha content? I'll read it for you. Okay. Let us move on to the second and quite long paragraph that they did not break up in any way. We continue. Have you ever heard of people like Chloe Cole? No. Layla Jane? No. Whom were given HRT against their will with puberty blockers and other things, and as they became adults, they successfully detransitioned back into the people they truly were? Well, considering I haven't heard of them and haven't heard a story about any person being forcibly transitioned anywhere in this world, I would like you to cite your sources. Please tell me where you heard this from. And if it's Fox News, that doesn't count, sweetheart. Moving on. The American people should be glad these two ladies and their own parties sued those hospitals for giving them the hormone replacement therapy. Again, cite your sources. I see no citations in this letter. You're making a lot of claims that you're not willing to back up with any factual evidence here, friend. Let's see here. Oh, and they go on. This is what we call brave women who spoke out about the dangers of transitioning from one sex they were born in the first place into the sex they never were. Interesting way to write that. You might need to revisit your grammar studies, friend. You're a little off there in the end of that sentence. Let's see here. Many, those pages could easily be traced back. I've heard that there's ways that printers put little microprint, but let's be honest, this person is clearly not that smart because they printed it from their own printer. And what normal person folds a letter in fourths and not thirds? They don't understand. Like, they did the thing where they folded in half and they fold it in half again. That's not normal. Normal adults who send mailed paper know that you fold the top third and the bottom third to fill the envelope. So this tells me that I'm probably working with somebody in their 20s, maybe their early 30s. I'm going to assume they're playing with a full deck, but again, I could be wrong. Let's move forward here in the text. Many studies have shown that hormone replacement therapy and puberty blockers are very dangerous to people's health. I would love to know what studies. Can you cite them for me? Because neither me or my medical team are able to find any of the studies that you claim to know about. So I would really like to know what studies you're citing here. Oh, they go on. Not to mention, there's a book called Irreversible Damage, The Transgender Craze Seducing Our Daughters by author somebody I've never heard of that people really should read. And they continue on, and they start a sentence with the word and. And nothing is worse than a biological male identifying himself as a woman and going into women's private spaces like restrooms and changing rooms. What is it you think I do with my life? Do you think trans women make it a hobby to go in and out of restrooms? Do you think that we wake up every morning and our first goal is to make our fellow sisters feel uncomfortable? Have you ever stopped and tried to put yourself in the shoes of another person? I want you to do an experiment, sir, that wrote this letter. Mr. I'm not going to say who I am, you giant chicken shit. Your view of trans women in this world seems largely based off of what I can only assume is OAN, Real American News, and Fox. Because every trans woman that I have ever met, and every trans man for that matter, is terrified of public restrooms. In fact, many of us go to great lengths to not use them at all. I will come home first because people like you make our lives hell. And you make the lives of cisgender people hell because you feel like you need to go out and play police on the public while you wouldn't know a man from a woman if it walked up and smacked you in the face because you're just as bigoted as every other person around you that consumes this kind of slop. You fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You are literally the kind of person that people like Trump laugh at because you believe anything they tell you. And so they go on. It's dangerous to real women who are biological females and invades their privacy. Again, do you understand what goes on in a bathroom? We're in there trying to take a piss and get the fuck out. Nobody is going in the bathroom to hang out and have a good time. And anybody who's going to go in a women's room to I want to use a careful word because it's YouTube. If somebody is going to go into a public restroom to accost a woman, do you think they're going to go through the effort of transitioning? Do you think they're going to go through the effort of all the changes that take place? Or do you think that the dude is going to just walk in the bathroom and do what he's going to do? Do you really think not looking like a woman stops sexual predators? Do you really think that you have to transition to assault women? Is that your only talking point? Is that trans bad because I think they're going to, you know what I mean? Like, your thinking is so fundamentally flawed. You are lumping everybody in with what you made up in your head. And it's just so sad. TLDR, I got hate mail again from the same person, and this time I am putting them on blast because the pussy won't say who they are. And so I want to know who this delinquent is because clearly they do not have an education or an understanding of the physical body and how it functions. They seem to think that everybody is a predator. They must be miserable. Their entire life must be miserable. That they feel like every single person wakes up and goes outside looking to hurt other people. That's what they think. They think everybody's a monster just out there to hurt and maim other people. And it's like, these people are allowed to vote. That's the scariest thing. People like this are allowed to cast a ballot in this country with their ill-informed thinking and their horrible, horrible points of view based wholly on superstition and not fact or science. They got nothing better to do. True. I did cackle at it. Sorry, I'm gonna read chat now. I got a little heated in there for a second. Okay. Pretty sure printers also use cyan and magenta to print invisible symbol marks on each page. Show a page, print up a page, keep trace back, citation needle, both of us. But on HRT, if it was either of us, that would be wild hypocrisy, even if I fold in a third for letters. A bit of self-report there. And they're under their 20s, starting a sentence with and proves it. Capitalized, but yeah, they started with and. Hi, what coming to? Got you. I get that kind of junk mail every day. I just chuckle at it, to be honest. My brain is falling out. You should imagine me when I got this letter. They must be super miserable and bored to write something like that. We're only on the first page, mind you. Like, if this person had the ability to think critically on their own, I feel like they would not be doing this. That's what I'm saying, because, like, again, this is all Fox News talking points. Like, the second page gets into Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, when the fuck have I ever said his name before? This is the first time on the internet. You can prove it. I have never uttered that man's name before today. So why are you equating me to him? What is your brain on, dude? What the fuck? Being very generous with thinking there. I know. In the first letter, it was literally the same kind of you aren't who you say you are bullshit. But this letter takes it a step further and tries to make it sound like I steal money from you guys. They literally... Let's go to the second page. They say here, I'm gonna skip this entire paragraph right here. This entire paragraph is about Charlie Kirk, right here. Explain to me why I have a third of a page written by a random stranger about Charlie Kirk about me. Why? I have never met Charlie Kirk. I have never watched Charlie Kirk. How the fuck did you ever decide that we were anywhere in the same football field of relevance to spend a third of a page? What the fuck, bro? What is going through that head of yours? Anyway, I'm gonna move on. Oh, listen to this sentence. This is in the middle of the page. Take it or not, people in the furry fandom who have Trump derangement syndrome do not and should not deserve a fursuit ever. I'm gonna reread this sentence. A real human typed this sentence out. They thought this sentence up, typed it out, and said, yeah, we're gonna send it. I'm gonna read this again. Take it or not, people in the furry fandom who have Trump derangement syndrome do not and should not deserve a fursuit ever. What kind of person do you think writes that? What kind of person? What the fuck, dude? Do you think conservatives would let their kids have fursuits? Do you think people like Tucker Carlson, just because their kid likes Trump's gonna let them have a fursuit? You do know furry is a completely different subculture. Like, the way they try to equate things does not make sense. We're gonna continue on this tirade here. I'm skipping the Charlie Kirk paragraph because it's unnecessary. It's literally like they watched Fox News, typed it out fucking word for word, and sent me a transcript. Anyway, Anyone who doesn't like America or wants to change America into something it was never meant to be should move out, just like what English Ellen and Irish Rosie did. He's fucking using Trump's exact phraseology for those two. Oh my lord. Because they couldn't help but throw a temper tantrum over Donald Trump taking back the White House, and that Sleepy Joe ended up leaving the White House in disgrace and had to drop out of the 2024 election. Tell me you support Republicans without telling me you support Republicans, you piece of shit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me read chat here. Whoever wrote this up has an IQ of 67. You right. Gatekeeping fursuits now? Apparently so. Yeah. I'm gonna guess that they used AI for the letter. Nah, AI wouldn't be this stupid. At least AI would not have used grammar that makes it sound like it was written by a 12-year-old. Bingo! Is it even possible for me to facepalm any harder than I already am without pushing my hand through my skull? Funny thing about the bathroom argument is that if a trans woman did do that, then being trans wouldn't change anything. Thank you. Thank you for saying the obvious part that every fucking human being alive, including every woman who has ever looked at me in a restroom, smiled, and went the fuck about their day, because we're just in there doing what we're doing and we get along with our fucking day. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, these people. I am terrified that these people will one day grow up and be in positions of power. That's what's terrifying. They actually said Sleepy Joe. They did. I'm pretty set in my beliefs, only changing them when given proven and repeatable evidence to prove otherwise, but sometimes people make me question it. I believe voting shouldn't have to be earned. 6-7, hello queen, I ran out of chat length. No, literally though. Like, believe it or not, it is already illegal to assault people in public bathrooms. Imagine already having laws for people who are going to commit crimes. Imagine. Did they just copy-paste tweets? They very well might have. That was a title to steal my drive back from Applebee's. Lana, TLDR, hate mail arrived. I'm making fun of them until the asshole tells me who did it, because it's the second time that the same person has sent me an anonymous letter from Sioux Falls. So we're going to smoke this bastard out for their terrible grammar. Anyway, after they talk about Trump more, glazing him, we move on to the next paragraph. What is worse? Nothing could be more shameful how furries like you would rather be grifting people through donations on your platforms instead of making money on your own merits by having a job or doing something thoughtful for people in return. I have a day job. I work construction. I fix people's houses for a living. I like to think that's doing something good for people. I really don't understand where they're getting this. Do any of you feel like I'm grifting you? Like, I realize this is YouTube, but let's be honest here. Have I ever sat here and begged you for money? Have I ever sat here and said, hey guys, I need more subs? Like, explain to me when I have ever grifted, okay? I would love for you to pull up clips. I would love for you to give me even one time that I sat here and grifted. Go ahead. Send me the clips. I will be waiting. You know my address. You know where to send it to. Good Lord. Where are we at here? We have a hunch. Oh, they refer to themselves as we, by the way, trying to obscure the fact this is clearly a solo individual. We have a hunch that your so-called charity streams, which I haven't done in years, we have a hunch that your so-called charity streams, even before you transitioned, were just every scheme to defraud your supporters and give them nothing back. Now, I want to make something abundantly clear. Everybody who's been in my charity streams knows full well that every company I work with gives me a link, and that link is where you make charitable donations, meaning that I never see a cent of that money. It never crosses my account. It doesn't even touch any part of my life. It goes directly to the charity involved. It has been that way for decades. So the assumption that I am doing charity streams to steal from you is absurd on its face when I am working with reputable companies that have a default link that the person goes to put the money in the charity's pocket. I never take that money, you dipshit. So explain to me how I would grift charity that the charity already received. Didn't think about that, did you, dumbass? Moving on. I have a hunch, aka I made this shit up because I feel this is the case. Oh, I know, Kieran. Anyone who wants to raise money for themselves so they can transition into something they're not. Hold on, I have to flip the page. I'm sorry. Anyone who wants to raise money for themselves so they can transition into something they're not are just crazy people out there. Anyone who wants to raise money for themselves so that they can transition into something they're not are just crazy people out there simply begging for money. Their grammar! Jesus Christ! Anyone who wants to raise money for themselves so that they can transition into something they are not are just crazy people out there simply begging money for themselves instead of giving their donors something good in return. Friends, chat, viewer, do you feel like I'm sitting here asking you to pay for my transition? Do you feel like I'm sitting here telling you to give me money for I don't even know what? Because my health insurance covers the medication and all of my doctor's visits come out of my pocket. I would really like to know how they think you guys are paying for this. I would really like to know. Like, where do you think my money comes from, asshole? I have a day job. Like, again, do you need me to log into Twitch right now and show you the revenue tab so you can laugh at how little money I live on every month? Like, is that what it's gonna take? Is for me to just broadcast to the world, hey, I'm poor like everybody else. Imagine. Not every content creator gets to be Pokimane. Not everyone gets to have millions of dollars to just blow around and do whatever they want. Some of us make a couple $100s a month busting our asses, and we make it work. You don't hear us complaining about it. But then I have to sit here and deal with these assholes sitting in their fucking ivory tower behind the anonymity of a keyboard, diminishing my struggle, my life, to 3 pages of what amounts to Fox News drivel? Come the fuck on, bro. What are you doing with your life? How miserable are you that you have dedicated at least, I'm gonna say 3 months to this? At least? In the amount of time since the last letter? And this is how you choose to spend your time? Harassing me? A single human being that in the grand scheme of 8.2 billion motherfuckers on this planet is just over here trying to do my thing and survive. I will never understand people. I will never understand. I try to give everybody in the world grace and the benefit of the doubt. But when you come at me like this, I don't think I have much more grace to give you. You clearly just are not willing to accept material facts for what they are. You clearly support an administration who would rather get you to believe a lie than tell you an uncomfortable truth. And you're so used to this that your entire life now runs on lies. Everything in here is a lie. Well, most of it. You got my legal name right because Ohio's really bad about personal privacy, and anybody with my street address can find my information thanks to income taxes. So please don't come to my house. I have cameras. I don't want to have to push you out of my house, but like, people just keep threatening me in ways that make me feel like, dude, why are you like this? Go get laid. Go touch grass. Watch a movie. This isn't healthy, dude. You are obsessing over such a nothing burger, but you go out of your way to seem so big and bad because you type it up and you won't put your name on it. And you still address me by a name that I have not used in years, motherfucker. So, like, can you not just move on? Are you stuck in the pre-COVID era? Are you so mad that I chose to move on with my content and do what I wanted to do. That you're mad I'm not going to sit here in a fursuit and do what you want me to do? Is that why you're mad? Because I don't do streams where I sit here for 24 hours and let chat abuse me? Is that what you mean by I am a former fan and now an ex-supporter? Like, which is it, dude? Clearly you have beef with me. All the Charlie Kirk, all the Trump, all the political stuff aside. You clearly have a problem with me. My question is why? Why am I, a single person who has probably never spoken to you directly in your life, matters so much that you go out of your way to harass me in a way that is an actual crime? And as soon as I know who you are, you better believe you will be receiving a cease and desist. So go ahead, write me more letters, but just know this doesn't affect me. All this does now is gives me more ammunition to come on here and make sure that other people know if you're doing this to any other creator, that you're not worth the fucking paper this is printed on. You're a piece of shit. If you go out of your way to type up hateful fucking shit like this, and you can't even have the balls to put your name on it when say it with your whole chest, you're gonna hide behind anonymity? You're a piece of shit. You're a cowardly chicken shit piece of shit. Go ahead and send me another letter. Game on, motherfucker. Mailbox is waiting. I know, they did. Well, it's because they probably can't afford a printer that prints on double-sided. I can. Because I saved up, and I did research, and I took months to figure out what the best fucking home office printer was, and I bought that printer, and for 4 years, that printer has never let me down. It's not the most expensive, but I did my research, and I at least didn't buy... This is probably printed on a fucking HP or a Canon. I will put money on the fact that I guarantee you whoever printed this is using an HP or a fucking Canon. I'm calling it now. Just by the way it's printed, I can tell you this didn't come from a toner cartridge. Anyway, where are we at in chat? Please don't let anyone grow. I swear to God, the one thing a person could do, and most anyone do is supposed to do, once you know who it is, you now have evidence against them. No balls, didn't even have the pages double-sided. Let this fuel the fire, let it burn bright. Probably couldn't afford a double-sided printer for real. Did they send that to you? Oh, no, Lana. I had to cover the address. This came to the house. This was in my mailbox today. So this came to me. Now, I'm not surprised they have my address because my info has been leaked on Kiwi Farms. I've been doxxed. People know where I live. It is why I'm not shy about the fact that I have cameras and I have weapons. So that I would kindly remind folks, my house is my safe space. If I have not invited you to my home, please do not take it upon yourself to show up. That will not end well for you. There will be police involved. That being said, it's not surprising that this person who has sent me hate mail before has my address because in the first page, they use my full legal name and my dead name. So they clearly figured out how to Google my information. They found the Kiwi Farms website and they got my address from the Ohio Tax Registry. Thanks, Ohio. Learn to give us better privacy protections, you fucking morons. The stamp was canceled from South Dakota. If you would like to see the postmark, there it is. This is the exact same postmark that was on the previous letter. So I can tell you it's the same person, and it's from the same place. The same postmark. So it's not a... Well, this is from South Dakota. There's a difference. So is fan mail going to become regular content? If people are going to do this, it sure is, because this builds my case. This is me making a record for the lawyer in the future. That I received it today, April 25th, 2026. This letter arrived in my home's mailbox, not my P.O. box. It's just gaff tape covering the address. So, yeah, I just decided I wanted to get on here. I wanted to yap about it because I want you guys to know, A, I'm finally just going to come out and say it for everybody who doesn't know so that we can get this off the table since I'm sure this person thinks I'm shaking in my little boots trying to hide it. But, for those who didn't know, yes, I am transgender. I used to be Kiwi fox. I was at one point in my life considered biologically male. You are welcome to your opinions. You are welcome to your beliefs. And I do not sit here and expect every single one of you to accept who I am now. However, I am who I am. I am now a woman. I have gone through transition. I have legally changed everything, and I do everything in my earthly power to make the lives of my fellow women better. And I'm not a person to bash against men. I'm not saying men are bad. I'm not saying I transitioned because men are bad. It was a decision for me and me only. This was meant to affect nobody else but me. But because people take it upon themselves to get so offended by the choices that I made that affect only me, I feel it is in my best prudence to tell you and just make sure that everybody across the board understands that I am who I am. I am not shy about that fact. And if somebody is going to send me hate mail trying to capitalize on that information as if it was some big gotcha secret, sorry, haven't exactly been hiding it this entire time. You clearly found it. Didn't seem like it took you an extremely long time to find it, so I fail to see the point of this letter other than giving me free content and you looking like a total piece of shit, whoever you are. I imagine I know what you smell like. I am going to insult you. I know what you smell like. I can smell you from here. So how about we just cut the shit and you tell me who you are? Or you can do the smart thing and just go ahead and stop sending me these. Or not. Keep sending them and let me figure out who you are. That could be even more fun. I've got nothing but time. Where are we at here? The only thing I send is support and respect you. Thank you. Printers print with a code so the government can trace the messages back to the printer it was printed from. Small enough you can't see, but the government knows. If I could, I'd send plush things to help erase the anger. I'm not really angry. I trust me, I'm not angry. If anything, I'm just more sad that this is how people choose to live their life. Like, I'm having a great day. I woke up, I fed my cats, I hung a ceiling fan today, and I cleaned up a little bit. I did laundry. Like, my day's been going great. I am not angry. But when I checked the mail and I saw this, I'm just like, my first feeling is genuinely sadness for this person. I am sad for this person because this person will never know happiness. This person will spend the rest of their life angry at every manufactured outrage. They will constantly be fed a steady IV drip of things to be mad at. Me, the government, the world. Pick your poison. It's what we're all conditioned to do by the government, is to hate each other and to be divided. It's the reason I stream, is to try to bridge the gap and show people, look, we can be different, but I can still tell a joke and you can still laugh at it. We can move along with life here. We don't have to get bogged down in the minutia of the he said, she said, this upsets me shit. Like, seriously, this person just... I wish I had better advice for them other than to go outside. Log off. Quit watching, dude. If I upset you so much, go somewhere else. Watch someone else. You don't have to be here. If you don't like my content that much, leave. There's a million other creators you could go watch, and I'm sure some of them align with your philosophy. Why are you here? Why are you sending me hate mail? Anyway, I bet they smell like beef and cheese. Don't you ruin beef like that for me. Not everyone has to accept who you are, but some people get so hateful that what they say makes them a lol cow. Yeen, we all love you. I appreciate that, Mandy. And like, I guess the reason why I'm not super public about my transness is because of the fact I am not here to make other women uncomfortable. I am not here to pretend that I am better than any other person on this earth. So I am simply me, and that is who I put across on the internet. So, you know, do I have trans flags everywhere on my profile? No, because I'm not unnecessarily trying to paint a target for more people like this. But at the same time, it is also not me saying that by being trans, I am better, equal, or worse too. It's simply me making a choice for myself. Society clearly has no issue with it because nobody gives a shit. I go about my day. They go about their day. If I step foot into a business, they make money off of me, and then I leave, and everybody goes on through their life. Why these people have to make such a deal out of it is just beyond me. The real judge of your character. Do you pour the milk or the cereal first? You pour the cereal first, otherwise you never know how much milk you need. You have to go cereal first. If you go milk first, you have too much milk and not enough cereal. If you go cereal first, you can judge the perfect amount of milk. Full stop. I'm disappointed in the actions of a fellow human. There is no reason to spread hate for no reason. Be you not what others tell you to be. Well, that's why I think this person is so mad, because I am who I want to be now. But 6 or 7 years ago, I hate to use it, but that's the proper number. You know, pre-COVID, when I was doing the Kiwi Fox content, 2018, 2019, I did let the chat dictate more of my actions, and it was degrading to me. Because they would make me drink horrible things. They would make me eat horrible things. I would be denied sleep. I would be sent very loud noises during streams to basically psyop myself. And it was just like, sure, to them it's enjoyable, but to the content creator that's miserable. And so I decided I'm not going to do that content anymore. And I started doing video games and Beat Saber and yada yada yada. And people like this just keep getting angrier. The more I am myself, the more angry these people get. Because I'm not letting them dictate my life anymore. They're upset that I'm not letting them control me. And it's just... why? Why do you care? Go outside. I have not seen Elf, no. Honestly, this person has a lot in common with someone I know. Won't go into too much detail, but they can be summed with the word self-centered leech. I agree. That's true. The ones who judge others are the very ones judge themselves of criticizing themselves in such a strict way. The hate mail also means I have to cancel my plan of showing up and handing you a singular dollar and leaving. Note, my lawyer says that I should state that I wasn't actually planning on doing that. Yeah. Loved your content since 2016 and will support you. I do appreciate that, Jaybird. Again, I can ask you as somebody who's been around. Have I? What does he say here? Oh, hold on. Let me reread this for you. Anyone who wants to raise money for themselves so they can transition into something they are not are just crazy people out there simply begging money for themselves instead of just giving their donors something good in return. Jaybird, have I ever sat here and bugged you for money for my transition? Have I ever said, Jaybird, give me money for pills, give me money for meds, give me money for surgery? Have I ever done that to any of you in here? Have I ever done a fundraiser on my stream? For my trans stuff, have I ever sat here and said I'm raising money to go get surgery? Have I ever done that? I'd love to know if I did. I have a little bit more to read in this, by the way, and then we'll be done. If you missed the beginning of this stream, I'm gonna leave it up. Go back and watch from the beginning. You will see what this says. All right. We're gonna continue on with this garbage. This is what I call people being takers, which it's... their grammar's awful, by the way. I'm reading it as it's fucking written. No, we're still going. This is what I call people being takers, which it's sad, IT''S, which it's sad so many furries would ever use. Again, they're conflating me with all other furries. I don't even portray myself as a furry. I am simply a content creator who also happens to be a furry. There's a very marked difference, but okay, sure, let's go on. This is what I call people being takers, which it's sad so many furries would ever use their social media handles as platforms to solicit money they don't work for, which should constitute fraud where they don't want their donors to know exactly where the money is going. So they're mad that they're not getting paid to say this drivel. They're mad that people can turn on a webcam, be entertaining in some sense, and make a buck from it, and they're upset that they're not getting a piece of that pie. But they're choosing to lash out at me over it. Again, keeping in context, I don't make a lot of money. On average, for the last few years, I have made about $500 a month from Twitch, and I make $100 a quarter, which is 3 months, if I'm lucky, from YouTube. if you guys are so gracious to give me the ad revenue. That's it. The rest of it comes from my fucking day job. So I'd love to know where he seems to think I'm earning all of this money. Not to mention, do you see a new house? Do you see new boobs? Do you see a brand new computer or a fucking paid off car in the driveway? Nah, bitch. I got debt. I got credit cards. I got loans like every other person on this fucking planet. I'm not some magically rich influencer that you are just gonna sit here and will into existence for your own sick pleasure? Whatever you get from this? Like, is this doing it for you, dude? Are you gonna sit there and jerk it while I'm doing this for you? Like, is this what you wanted? Did you want me to read your hate speech so you can jack it? Cause, like, get some help. If this is what turns you on. Dude, I'm not here to be your sick fucking fantasy. Get out of here. I have enough people that fetishize trans people. I don't need you doing it too. Anyway. Moving on in this letter. This is the part that made me laugh out loud. As of writing this, I declare myself one of your ex-supporters who regret ever giving to you and how you take advantage of us for money and never give us anything back. They wrote that. That's literally how they wrote it. As of writing this, I declare myself one of your ex-supporters who regret, not plural mind you, who regret ever giving to you and how you take advantage of us for money and never give us anything back. Now, wait a minute. You're telling me that you're an ex-supporter, but then you follow up with us. So you're still a part of my community. Which is it? Are you a supporter or are you not? If you're an ex-supporter, then why are you still lumping yourself in with the rest of my community? If you're not giving me any money, then why are you complaining about giving me money? I don't follow your math, friend. It's not mathing. Where are we at here? Shame on you! Exclamation point. Go get a real job and an education instead of calling yourself a woman and enriching yourself behind people's backs. I have a job. I didn't finish college, but I got most of the way. And as far as enriching myself behind people's backs, every single one of you is watching this, right? Like, I'm pretty sure all of you watch my streams with your face, right? None of you watch my stream with your back turned, right? Just getting that out there, right? We're just gonna make sure that everybody's understanding that my streams, you consume it with your eyeballs, not your back, right? So if you're watching my stream and you're seeing everything that's going on, how am I enriching myself behind your back? I would love to know. I would really love to know. Moving on. Oh, and they start another sentence with, you don't believe me? Look, right here. They start the sentence with and, right there. That's the second one. That's the second one. They start with a capital and. All right. And we hope you stay away from, oh, and here's where they're going to use the same, tell me if you've heard this talking point before. And we hope you stay away from innocent young kids for their safety's sake. Especially what happened to crazy people like David Rock. Who? Am I supposed to know any of you've dropped like a dozen names in here? I don't know these people. I don't know these weird authors and these weird content creators that you watch, but you're putting them in here like I'm supposed to know. You're writing this like I understand your mindset. And I don't, dude. Your shit is oatmeal. You don't make sense. Oh my God. This person used to run a YouTube channel until its termination in 2010. 16 years ago! 16 years! 16 years ago, 2010, where his passion to customize cars with dangerous and daring stunts at the expense of people's lives and safety also had him being a convicted child sex predator, and how his estranged ex-wives are grateful they obtained full custody of their sons they had with him and want him to stay away from their sons. Like, and that's how they end it. That's the end of the letter. That's it. It just ends on that. Like, do you think trans people go out there to diddle kids? You do know that almost every single fucking pedophile is a dude in his 40s, right? No hair, usually a mustache, has a lot of child material on their hard drive. Sounds to me like your hard drive might want to be scanned there, buddy. You're throwing an awful lot of allegations for someone not even willing to put their name to it. So how about, which is it? You gonna make all these idle threats and not even use your whole chest? Can't have it both ways, dude. You don't get to call me out and remain anonymous. You want anyone, including me, to take this worth a half a grain of salt? I want to know who it is. Come on. Show me who you are. Prove me wrong that you're not some basement-dwelling troglodyte. Go ahead. I would love to be proven wrong that you're a well-educated, well-spoken, well-dressed individual, well-adjusted member of society, and you just happen to have time for this garbage. Prove me wrong. You know where my channel is. You know my address. I'll be waiting. They're worried about you looking them up in Family Watchdog by the looks of it. This sounds like someone whose parents probably have a Life 360 membership and they're not even allowed to go to the bathroom without their parents knowing every move they make. That's my guess. It's kind of giving the same vibes as the House Majority Speaker and his son keeping tabs on each other's porn habits. Yeah. Father and son porn habits being shared in an app to, what was the excuse they used? Keep each other honest. I don't know of any other situation where a father and a son should be talking about inappropriate materials at any point in their lives. Seems pretty weird to me, dude. Pretty fucking weird to me. Ah, yes, the party of family values. Yes. Let's gloss over how many of them went back to jail after being pardoned for January 6th for committing other crimes, including domestic abuse. But they don't want you to know that. No, they were just patriots. They were just doing what their fearless leader told them to do. I'm telling you, man. If I wind up on the news dead, you'll at least know probably who did it. Because this guy clearly has my address and a vendetta against me, so... just figure I'd come on here and make you all aware of the insane shit going on in the world, at least as it relates to me. I appreciate that, Kitsaru. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat. I just looked over and I just see, I love you. I'm sorry. The think of the children fallacy, they've been using that for decades. That's been since fucking what? George W, even earlier, George H.W. When did they start using that line? Reagan? Think of the children, we're doing it. No, you're not doing it for the children. You're doing it for your bottom fucking line. You're doing it for the money. You're doing it for your bottom. Like, I gotta be careful here, right? Because, like, I'm sure some of you here, we're on YouTube, some of you might be aware of More Pegasus, and I watch their videos quite frequently because I like their content. I like the way they structure their content. I like the research and the fact that if they do make an accusation, they have the clips to back it up, so I appreciate that. But I understand other people have their views about that person. But point is, they cover a lot of other content creators who are the kind of people this person should be writing letters to. So it's just interesting to me to know that there are people out there this letter should be intended for, but it's somehow being applied to me. And I'm just like, wow, if someone else's judgment has them looking at me as the bad person, I worry about their judgment. I worry about their values. I worry about their morals. I really do. For themselves, and God forbid their kids if they have any. If this person has kids, they really shouldn't. Nobody who has this much hate in their heart should be anywhere near a child, man or woman. Deadass. Like, no. Um, I'd love to have a teacher grade this letter. Whoever wrote it just cares about making others miserable and not their own GPA. True. Konnichiwa. Hello. Sorry, what? This is giving me vibes that this was written by an evangelical Christian. Sorry if that breaks. No. You're fine. I would agree with you because, again, it has the same talking points that they all fucking thump from their pulpit. You know, it's, you heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. That's why it doesn't get to me, because I'm like, dude, this is something he heard somewhere on the internet and just regurgitated it. Because there's 1,000 other people just like this asshole on Twitter, on 4chan, on Reddit, who just, they can just vomit this shit up. And it's sad. It really is. It all goes back to Reagan. Reagan was the reason a lot of shit got ruined. Just saying. It was originally a thing against gay people, so it's many, many years at this point. When they say think of the children, they think of the children a little too much. These are the same people who had an issue with Pragmata, the game that just came out. I think it's a really cute game. Haven't played it, might get it, but I don't know, we'll see. But the general premise of the game is there's, you know, dude in a mech suit, a little AI that is portrayed as a childlike figure. And these dudes are out here immediately Bible thumping, like, think of the pedos! And I'm like, why are you thinking of the pedos? If you're looking at a kid or a childlike figure and you're having pedophilic thoughts, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but friends, you might want to look inward. Like, just saying. If you're having those thoughts and feelings, sorry, you can point your finger everywhere else, but if you're having those thoughts and feelings, just saying, your hard drive might need to be scanned. Government might need to take a look at your PC. Where are we at here? Pretty sure the ID is even older. How will we protect the kids if we don't get rid of the others? Oh my god, to have a return address and send it back with red pen corrections and an F in the corner. What if it's a blanket letter sent out to multiple creators and you... The reason I know, well, you're right. They could be putting different names on it. So that's another reason why I'm doing this then. If anyone else gets one of these letters, I really want to know. I really want to know if anyone else has... I know. I like my Dr. Peppy. If anyone else hears of a creator getting one of these letters from a South Dakota postmark, let me know, because I genuinely want to know if this is a thing. Because now you're giving me something to think about. Because, like, yeah, how hard would it be to change the name? But I mean, there's so many other specifics in here directed at me that it's hard to say if they are sending this elsewhere. I don't know, but at the same time, they could be. I really don't know. In the event I find something, I will alert you. Thank you, sign. And yeah, I'm not telling people to go out there and find it. I'm just saying if you, in your travels, just happen to hear about it, especially by me blabbing about it on the internet, maybe someone else will go, hey, wait a minute, I got one of those. And I can just be like, ah, let's see if there's a correlation to the people they're getting sent to. Because that would also be really fun to know who else in this collective is receiving these? It's entirely possible it's some shithead Kiwi Farms user. Possibly, but again, there's an awful lot of specifics targeted at me that would make me think they had to have been around long enough to know certain information, because Kiwi Farms does not have all of that. They only have what is publicly scrapable, which is a lot, to be fair. But not everything they put in here is publicly scrapable. Like, they would have had to have been around to know this information. So I do think this is a long-time viewer. I just can't figure out why they still go through all of this. Maybe they get a chubby when they print it out, look at it and go, yeah, this'll get them. And maybe when they pop it in the mailbox, they go home and jerk off because they think they did something good. Who knows, dude? Getting inside the heads of people like this is an exercise in futility. Because even if you manage to figure it out, it ain't gonna make much sense. It is illogical at its core, the way these people think. Have I seen Mouse PI? I have not. Children cannot be represented in games anymore is what they're trying to say? Well, no, because it's the same logic as why girls are not allowed to wear tank tops in school, because guys can't control their urges. And I'm not saying all men, but clearly people like this who look at a child and their first thought is sexual urges? That's not normal. That's not healthy. You should not be looking at a young anything and thinking about it sexually. And they'll deflect it by saying, oh, I'm just thinking about the children. That's the problem. You're thinking about the children. You fucking creep. That's their parents' job. But it's the same thing. We literally are living in a world where people like this expect everything to be baby-proofed because they can't be expected to exercise restraint. They can't be expected to control themselves. So instead, women must be kept subservient and docile, and dress codes have to disproportionately punish women because men can't control their fucking dick. And it's obvious by people who write these letters where their dick lies because they're talking about trans and kids more than we are. I see where their focus is, and I'm the one going, dude, you're the dangerous person in this situation. You're the unhinged one who would touch a kid, but then try to blame it on somebody else because, oh, my high moral superiority wouldn't allow this. I'm telling you, dude, every accusation by people like this, it's projection or an admission. Just saying. So, again, if you got here late and you missed it, I will be leaving this VOD up so you can go back and rewatch it from the beginning. But the TLDR is, some fuckface decided to send me a second hate letter from the same exact place in the same exact way, so now I know it's the same person. And, I would just like to know who it is. So, yeah. That's about it. Anything before I get out of here? You guys got any last minute questions? Because I think it's about it. I'm just going to end it and then we'll leave this up for people to go rewatch it. That sounds gross. You should try to find out who this is. That's why I'm doing this stream. Because I'm hoping they watch it and they get so triggered that I'm not upset by this letter. That I want them to out themselves. I want them to leave an angry comment. I want them to go visit my Twitch stream. Go ahead. Let me know who you are. Please. You already know where I am. You already know who I am. Let's go ahead and get the introductions out of the way. Sure doesn't make me feel great knowing this individual might be local to me. I'm sorry, Aspen. But hey, at least they'll probably stand out if you ever do see them. I can't imagine a person like this blends in very well in society. I appreciate it, Sunkissed. Sorry again, this is not my usual content, but I think I've also just kind of gotten to the point that after watching enough Moist Critical and other creators, I think I've just decided that at this point, if I want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. And if it's not my normal content, sorry. It'll just mean more content on YouTube in general. So hey, that should be good for the algorithm, right? More stuff for people to watch when I'm not live. The county offender registry is probably a good place to start looking. I wouldn't be surprised. Just saying. Somebody who talks about kids this much gives me reason for pause. This is not normal. These people are not normal. They want to sit here and point the finger at me just because I'm different, but baby girl, I'm different. I'm not dangerous. This person is dangerous. Little sus. I appreciate it, Blueberry. The other reason I did it is because I wanted you to see the letter. I didn't want to sit here and pretend I was reading off of nothing. I wanted you to see this is real. I did not make this up. This was sent to me, and clearly the intent was to upset me or maybe bully me off the internet. Not really sure what they thought this was gonna do, but I decided to turn it into content, so thanks for the watch time, asshole. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm good. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Happy Saturday. I'm not wearing a watch. It's almost 8 p.m. on a Saturday, so I think I'm gonna start smoking weed. So I'm gonna go pack a bowl and hit the bong, which I can't do on YouTube because they will get upset. So, real quick, friends, if you're new here, if you're YouTube only, I do stream on Twitch. I know a lot of people hate Twitch. If you want to come see me on Twitch, come see me on Twitch. If you don't want to come see me on Twitch, I'll make more content for YouTube then. That's how it'll go. Letter is honestly funny, but the scary part is they obviously know your address. That's why I have cameras and I have weapons. So, not that I'm one to advocate violence, but Ohio has pretty good stand your ground laws, and I will know that you're on my property before you reach my front door. So, Lana, you've already been here. Doesn't count. Yes, we are still doing a Bubble Buddies in 10 minutes. So make sure, if you are a $10 and up Patreon, if you are a tier 2 or tier 3 over on Twitch, get your butts ready. We're going to be meeting up in VR and doing our monthly Bubble Buddies. So I'm going to get out of here. Everybody here on YouTube, stay frosty. Enjoy your weekends. Stay hydrated. One last Dr. Peppy for the road. All right, friends. Till next time. Take it